You're listening to the Public Health Entrepreneurs Podcast with your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley. How you talk about your consulting services can make or break whether someone hires you. Welcome to Public Health Entrepreneurs. This is the podcast for leaders who are transforming health at the population level. I'm Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and whether your background is in policy or research or environmental science or another field entirely, if you are building a business that is focused on population health, then this podcast is for you. I bring over 25 years of experience in healthcare, public health, and entrepreneurship to help you build business strategies that create healthier communities. Now let's dive into our topic today. The way you talk about your consulting services can make or break whether someone hires you. So let's talk about what that really means. It's really about presenting your services with confidence. Let me provide a little bit of a presentation framework. When I say presentation, I'm talking about how you're presenting your services, how you talk about it. So who you help plus the problem you solve plus the outcome they get. Keep it real simple and clear. We often refer to this as an elevator pitch. It's short, simple, and clear, and it may lead to follow-up questions and conversations to learn more about what you do. Sometimes there are situations where you only have a few seconds, like if you're on an elevator and you're going to be getting off on a different floor, you can't go into all these complicated details or you don't have the time to explain, but you want to give them enough information so that if they're interested, they'll ask a follow-up question. They may or may not want to know more, and that's okay too. But it's getting that confidence to explain what you do, who you serve, the problem you solve, and keeping it really simple. That can be challenging for all of us because given the nature of the industry that we're in public health or any of the other industries, we have our own jargon and language, and it can just be complicated. So we want to be able to speak clearly and keeping it simple in terms of what you do, who you serve, the problem you solve, so that there's some follow-up and you start a conversation. Now, the confidence part comes in. Well, I'll say this, you can wing a whole lot of things when you're getting started or with business, but you can't wing the sales conversation. You need to practice your pitch. You need to get feedback on what's working, what's not working. And when I say pitch, I mean pitch and presentation kind of interchangeably. Because we're in the business, so you are always looking for the sales conversation. The opportunity to be of service is how I think of it, and be able to provide the solution that you have to the organization or the individual that is looking for that solution. So some effective presentations include focus on the client outcome rather than your credentials, because they were not as interested in all those letters behind your name. They really are more interested first in, can you help them solve their problem? So clear and specific kind of value proposition. You don't want to make it complicated, but if you're going to save them time, save them money, whatever the case may be, kind of get to that point. Don't get focused on too many options and overwhelming them and yourself in the process. So I think that sometimes it's helpful to integrate storytelling. So if you have a brief example, or even if it's a hypothetical situation, it can help your prospects see themselves in that transition that you're selling them, right? That you're promising them. Sometimes it might be that you rely on a story from, when you're new as a consultant, you've done this work through other jobs. You're looking for your new client, but you have the experience. So maybe you're talking through some of those experiences as you are sharing stories, examples, without giving all the context. When I worked here, it's not so much that way. It's helping the prospect or the person on the other side of that conversation just understand the transformation, what it is that you're doing. That's the goal there. So don't come up with really complicated stories. Just storytelling helps people wrap their brain around what it is and really understand and see themselves in the situation. So you only get better at this, and you improve how you present and build confidence by practicing. You practice with real people, and you practice over and over and over again and adjust based on the responses that you receive. Practice is how you build the confidence. And I really see a lot of times you start with drafting it in a document maybe, but then when it comes out of your mouth, it may not be as clear as it seemed to be in that document, or it may not flow as well as it seemed to flow as you were typing it out. But those real conversations are the ones that matter the most. And if you're talking to people and they're still not understanding, even though you think you're really clear, then revise, right? The confidence, like I said, in presenting your services comes from practice and feedback, and not from waiting until you feel ready. Now, I am hosting a live virtual mastermind opportunity for a small group of public health entrepreneurs like you. It's called Consulting Clarity. It's a premium mastermind experience, and it's designed to give you what you actually need, including opportunities to practice some of the things that I'm talking about in this episode right now. You will have the opportunity to submit your questions and the challenges that you're dealing with in your business. You'll submit that to me ahead of time before we meet in our live session, which allows me the opportunity to customize what I will be sharing and how I guide our actual session when we are live. This gives you the assurance of getting your questions answered, and there's going to be peer support and feedback. Just if you're interested, I encourage you to go to publichealthentrepreneurs.com. Click on Mastermind from the menu, and all the details will be there. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more.